Everybody, Alyssa here from Becoming Memories, and I decided today to take you along with me on the process of putting together some page kits. I am determined to get caught up on my Project Life albums in 2020, and so I've been utilizing some page kits to help me do that. So before I get into that, I want to show you how I organize this. And I totally got this idea from Inky Quill, Adele Toomey. She's Inky Quill on YouTube. Definitely look her up. But I have taken my family albums and I've put all the page protectors in, and I've printed all the photos for about 8 months worth right now is where I'm at. This is 2016 and 2017. Don't judge. So let me go back. If you watch any of my layout shares, you'll see that a lot of times I only show this part, but almost every layout that I do, for at least every layout for this album, has a 12 by 12 and then a pocket page. And so, here, let me go this way. Let's do, well, that didn't work. So sometimes if I have extra pictures, I'll put in little inserts that lets me do more journaling. I sometimes don't journal in my 12 by 12 layouts, like this one. Well, this one has a little bit of journaling, but I always include more on the Project Life page. Okay, so this is the main family album. So I've gone through, when I print the photos until I get them in the album, they go in envelopes, and I try to keep these envelopes as the current week one on my desk, and I make some notes of what we've done so that later when I go to print the photos, like, kind of know what photos I'm looking for. And then when I print them, I cut them and I put them in the pocket page, and I choose a photo for this main layout. And so several of these already have page kits, and if you go back on my channel just a little ways, you'll see my copycat kit number 4 and my How to Kill a Kit with Style were both page kits that I have made. So that one is one of them. Excuse me, here's some more finished. So this one, I have page kit 4 already, and each page kit will do the 12 by 12 and the pocket page. Okay, so this is one actually though that I'm doing today. So this is December 26th through January 1st. So we have a couple days here that are not Christmas. They're between the holidays. And then we have a Christmas party that we went to at my mother-in-law's house. So I have these 2 photos. This will be a little bit unique because this is a 6 by 12 pocket with like 4 by 6 pockets over here. But it is going kind of back to the Christmas because of, you know, everybody's clothing and such. So what I have done is I've pulled out these photos, but I've written the date on the back with a post-it note and taken them out so I can build a page kit for these photos, but also for the rest of this whole spread. So hopefully that makes sense. So I've got that one. Some of these I've already built the kits for. This is already built. So I've got all these photos and they're all marked on the back. Okay, so basically February 13th through 19th. Anyways, I will keep that post-it note with these photos because I have been known to pull out the main photo and then forget where I was at and like have to have a heck of a time trying to match up the photos in the pocket page with the main photo that I had pulled out to work on separately, if that makes any sense. So just one second here, my Wi-Fi is being really stupid tonight. So that's the album, just to kind of give you an idea what I'm doing here. And when I pull stuff out for layout, I'm really working on using my Project Life cards more. So I will pull some cards that go with each kit, and those are primarily intended for that pocket page. So let me get this album out of the way. Okay, so I've pulled a big stack of papers here, and this is a little bit tricky for me because I tend to store everything by collection until it's down to the very last scraps, and so I don't really have like a big pile of paper to flip through like I see a lot of YouTubers doing. So what I did is I pulled a couple paper pads that I thought I could use. I pulled a couple like pads of neutrals, so to speak, like these dots and stripes. And then I do have a couple of small plastic sleeves that have just random assorted papers. So I may have to like put you on pause and like go and get some more stuff. This is a bunch of florals. This whole little pocket is just florals that I intend to fussy cut. I need to use this one sometime. I've been hoarding it. Okay. Or I guess this isn't really a floral, but something that I intend to fussy cut. Okay. So here's how I generally get started. I'm gonna pull out a couple things here that are a little bit Christmas themed. And we're gonna start with those Christmas photos. Because I had kind of an idea when I was going through. Okay. Oh, and by the way, these are 12 by 12 pockets. Actually 12.5 by 12.5, I think. I got them on Amazon, and I use them for all of my paper storage. I'm working on getting a new room tour up. I don't know if it'll be up before this video, but if it's not, watch for it soon, and it shows how I store all of my paper, so keep an eye out for that. This is also what I'm going to use to put my page kits in, and then I just reuse them once I use the page kit. So I'm going to set those down here beside me. So it is late at night. It's like 10:30. Hopefully I'm not going to ramble too much. I'm drinking my tea. So grab a cup or create something, or grab some pretty paper and look at it, something, while we go through this. Hopefully I don't bore you. I don't do very many videos where I talk live and have to fill space, so hopefully I will do okay with that. All right, so these photos here, there's a lot of brown and a lot of red in these photos. They're important to me because this is my mother-in-law, and she is in her late 80s, and I don't really know how many more Christmases we will have with her, and this is my daughter's first Christmas a couple of years ago, and so these are very important pictures, but the colors are not super great. So I pulled this out. This is an old SEI collection. It's called Aunt Gertie's Garden. If you remember this one, be sure to comment and tell me. I got this at the Goodwill outlet for 25 cents for the whole pack. And I thought I would flip through here for some brown, because, ooh, maybe that one. I don't have a lot of brown in my stash, and this collection, I can tell you right now, I'm pretty much going to use the B-sides, because this just, it looks a little bit dated to me and just doesn't quite work with my aesthetic, but I like that. That's a pretty good B-side. Okay, I might take both of these because I do have both sides of the pocket page to do. And I was thinking about this one. And this is gray, but it's kind of a brownish gray, but we also have gray here in Grandma's vest. So I'm thinking as for these as the kind of the base. So let me pull, I like to pull about 3 to 4 papers for each page kit. That's kind of fun. That kind of like modernizes it a little bit. Maybe, let me see. Ooh, I like that one too though, because the colors here in this stripe. This is Alison Kreft, what is this? It's Christmas Winter Green, and this is from, I don't know, there's no date, but I also got this from the Goodwill outlet. A whole stack of papers, probably for 25 cents. Okay, do I use the candy cane or the text? Or the floral, not the floral. that floral though. Because that one has a little more of the pinky tones. No, definitely not that. Kind of gonna go with that text, I think. That could work, but I think I'm gonna go with that text. Either there was only one in here, or I've already pulled the other one out, which is a possibility, but that's all right. I really need to go. I need to go to Tuesday morning and update my Christmas stash because I'm very nearly out. Okay, so I have three papers here, I have two of this brown dot. So I will bring in some embellishments that make it a little bit more Christmassy. But I'm gonna go with that. I like that. Okay, so what I do, and hopefully this doesn't drive you too bonkers. I'm trying to decide if this goes in here. No. Hopefully this doesn't drive you too bonkers, but what I'm gonna do is actually this is from Pink Fresh Holiday Wishes. I might pull this too. I don't know. I've used this collection quite a lot recently, but I do love these ornaments with that stripe. The colors are great. But this is kind of more creamy. This is more white, which is kind of throwing me. Maybe not. I'm gonna pull the papers and then I'm gonna go back and pull the embellishments. And I may end up filming that tomorrow. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it good because I've got enough papers there for sure to do the two pocket pages. I don't have a lot of pocket. Oh, let's do pocket cards. Not pocket cards. Project Life cards. So I keep these little containers here on my desk, and basically these have like a sampling. There's 3 of them over here, and these have a sampling of every Project Life kit that I own. So they sit here on my desk, and I use them a lot more now that I've got them out right beside me. And so I will, nope. Do a quick look here. Ooh, that's interesting. This is the same off-white or tone of white, and this wood grain reindeer actually might work since it's Christmas. Although, I think every pocket is actually full, so I might save that. Because these cards will end up being more backgrounds for photos than they will actual embellishment spaces, if that makes sense. I'm going to only have a very small space for journaling. That might work. This is the Maggie Holmes Bloom Project Life, and I think this is a very good example of like something that you might not necessarily think about as being a collection that would work with Christmas, but there are a few things. Okay. Since I don't have any empty pockets, probably what I'll try and do is incorporate one of these on this 6x12 spread so that I do have some room for journaling. The rest of my journaling is probably going to end up being on smaller, like little labels or stickers. It's the wrong shade of pink. Looking for a little bit more of that red. It's not going to be in the sports one, I don't think. That collection is like a different red. And the reason I'm looking, oh, it kind of works. The reason I'm looking for more of that red is because there's so much clothing in these photos and in the Pocket Life photos that have red, and I don't have a lot of red in my papers. And so if I could bring in a couple of cards, even if this gets a wallet sized photo on it and it really doesn't show that much of the design, it will still bring in that color kind of around the photo. Let's take a look here through really quickly through one more. I have a ton more. That could work. I have a ton more of these. There we go. Is that the same red? It's pretty close. That can work. It is actually December, so I potentially could use either side. Maybe that one. And then also it brings in a couple more patterns behind photos. So these will mostly be in small doses. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so I'm gonna put this in this plastic sleeve. I'm gonna move on to the next set of photos, and then I will come back and do embellishments for this in a little while. I also like to put whatever I kind of feel like is my primary signature paper. I always like to put that on top, because to me it kind of, I'm gonna put that one back. I don't think that really works very well. I feel like it kind of sets the mood and feel for the kit, and so I always like to keep that one on top. Sorry about my voice. I guess I've been talking a lot today. I don't know. Okay, let me put this one over here. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, this one is going to be quick. Let me switch this out. These are photos from a museum. Well, not this one, but these are all photos from a museum trip. And I actually have, in the Pocket page, I have, I think, like 8 more photos, all from the museum. So there's a lot of bold primary colors in this layout. And the Pocket page is it's 3x3 pockets. So I have 4x4. I have, is that right? 3, 3, 3, 3. Yeah. I have 12 3x3 pockets on this side to accommodate a lot of these wallet-sized photos. I have a whole other sheet like this in my album. So I'm actually going to cheat a little bit on this one, and I'm just going to pull out this collection. Ever since I took these photos, I've been thinking about this collection, or I should say ever since, I think these photos were, they was around the same time, and the minute I saw this, I knew that these were the photos. So I'm going to stick this in here. And what's going on? Oh, you're supposed to know what the dates. And then I will probably, you probably will not see me come back and grab embellishments, because I will probably stick with this collection. There we go. And I do like, sometimes I keep a sticky note in a collection that tells me that I have the chipboard, I have the enamel dots, I have the ephemera, and I have the layered stickers, so that when I sit down to work on this, I can pull all of those embellishments. I will pull them, and I will put them in this sleeve with this while it's in my Pocket page, I'm sorry, my page kit container. But yeah, so that one is easy. I usually don't stick with a collection. I like to mix and match, but sometimes. Okay, let's tackle this. These photos are all from the same day, and my plan is, I think, to put these 3 wallets on the page. I really like this one with all 3 of the kids. And this is my husband hiding his face while he's holding on to my 2-year-old's foot to make sure he doesn't take a flying leap. But I think since these 3 are so similar, they're all in the same tower, I think I'm going to make this my main layout. So let's see here. I'm gonna go back to this collection because this has just kind of been sitting in my stash for a while. And see if I can't find, this is just like a khaki gray color, find a couple of solids I might be able to use here, like that. Why are some of these double-sided and some are not? I'm confused. Oh, that's kind of interesting. But I don't know if it's right for these photos. I don't know. I think I'm gonna pass that. We'll use that at some point. So I just now realized this is the first time I've opened this, that this has all these pieces. I wish this collection had a date on it. I know it's really old school. And I tried to look it up at one point and I couldn't figure out when it was from. Okay, so let's move on to this. This is my envelope of like random one-off papers. Papers that I like picked up somewhere, maybe a yard sale, maybe Hobby Lobby, somewhere that just really, or they're like, this is like the very last piece of this collection that I have. So maybe I'll find something here. This is cute. Although these pictures are in February. Yeah, let's do some rain. It's that. No. That doesn't work with the red. This does work with this. I just definitely need, I may use that. I definitely need some pops of color with that because that's starting to go boring on me really quick. And I do love me some bright colors. Ooh, that one. Okay, has a really interesting story. It's from craftsassy.com. I have no idea if they're still in business. But when I was on the design team for Scrap and Art magazine, we did a collaborative feature with them and we were all allowed to design, I think it might have been 6 papers. And then they custom printed our papers for us that we designed and we created layouts for the magazine with them. And so this was one of the ones that I designed. This, I don't know, this could really, this is probably from like 2011 or 12. So I've probably hoarded it long enough. That might work. Let's see if I find anything else in this stack. Some of these are probably more scraps than anything. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to shuffle things so that you guys can see, but like, I don't remember this paper at all. That's why I stopped and looked at it. I think it must have come in that big stack from the Goodwill outlet. That's pretty. So this was, at the time we were living in Indiana, and this was like a super unusually warm day. It was like 65 degrees in February, which was astounding. And it totally felt like spring. It totally went back to feeling like winter after that, but we made the most of it and spent the day, most of the afternoon at the park. So I don't know. Still kind of liking this one. Oh, I love this one. I had this paper and I used it all and I found it at Goodwill again and I was so excited. I like this because it has the blue, but I think that is probably not what I'm looking for. This is a Christmas one. Film strips. Oh, there's that one again. Okay, I don't know. All right. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna take this one out. Yeah, I'm gonna take this one out. But I need some supporting patterns here because this is not gonna cut it. So let's see what I got here. Okay, let's see if I've got any. I pulled some 6x8 pads. Maybe something in here. These flowers have kind of an interesting feel to them. And they're also kind of a funky shape. You know what? This is good. Because I think what I'm going to do is build some neutral layers with these grays and khakis and black and white. And then use some blue mixed media and those flowers to finish it off. We'll see. It may not work. It may totally bomb. But I think I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, let's see if I can find maybe one more pattern. The birds would be nice given the day, but I think it's a little too much. This one, I feel like it kind of works to tie this khaki, grayish khaki color together with these other colors. Oh, my stack is cascading. Okay. Anything else? Ooh. I don't really feel bad about pulling too much paper. Okay, I think I might actually pull this one back out. Because remember, this is a pocket page and I'm so particular about keeping my collections together. It's funny. Sometimes I even think I'm a little anal about it, but ooh, that's okay. This is going to be on the pocket page, not on the main layout, but I do like that one too. This is Maggie Holmes' Willow Lane. Okay, so there we go. All right, I'm going to stop. Okay, a couple of little cards maybe. I think I was looking at this because I'm doing mixed media behind these flowers. Well, at least that's the plan. I can also, these are Heidi Swap Project Life cards. They're watercolor paper. And so mixed media would be perfect on these. I'm looking for one that's vertical because I don't remember what, there we go. I don't remember what style my pocket page is. So I don't really know if I have horizontal or vertical pockets, so I'm going to just pull one of each. Okay, let's pull out a few cards that kind of support this scheme. February, May, June. These are all from a Simple Stories collection. Some of you probably have it. And there's multiple pages of these in the paper pad. I think these are like So this is Saturday, and I do have some pink in the paper, so that could possibly work. January, March. Maybe I already used February. Why does it always seem like the one that you are looking for is always the one that you've used, right? Like if you've only used 2 in the whole thing, it's going to be the 2 that you're looking for. All right. I don't see any February. Darn it. There's a couple more here. September, January. Nope. All right, moving on. So today, I live in South Texas now, and it's really cold today. For South Texas, not for us Indiana people. It's really quite reasonable for us, but it's in the 50s, or it was. And so I think that could be why my voice is kind of funky. All right, that's good. I've got plenty of paper here to cut up for the pages if I need to. Oops, missed some. So anyway, we have had the windows open and we've been enjoying temperatures in the low 70s, and then it definitely took a dive here a couple days ago, and it's kind of chilly now, so I'm refusing to turn the heat on because it's going to go back up in the 70s by the weekend. So we're toughing it out, but it is starting to get a little bit chilly, I will say. Don't let my husband hear me say that. Okay, so 2 to go, and then I think what I'm going to do is come back and film embellishments in a separate video so that this doesn't get too long. All right, let me see what I've got here. I pulled this. And this. Okay. So these are both pictures. They're 2 different weeks. There's a week in between, but they're both of my 2 girls. This is a selfie. This one obviously is not. And yes, they're both redheads. So let me see, since this is girls, and we have, my pocket pages have a lot of baby girl. This is kind of pretty with this actually. Maybe we can go kind of florally here and use one of these papers I've been hanging on to. So a lot of times when I make page kits, the other thing that I like to do is use my paper pads, and I'll pull out a stack of paper pads. That's interesting. I'll pull out a stack of paper pads, and I homeschool my kids, so a lot of times I'll have to sit. We do a lot of schoolwork at the kitchen island, and so I'll be sitting there helping them with their whatever, algebra or whatever, and I will take photos and I'll flip through my paper pads and pull papers while I'm helping them. Helps me keep my sanity. Okay, these are all kind of like they're all Studio Calico neutrals. Yeah, not really loving any of that. Okay, this is another paper pad that I pulled out of the bins at Goodwill Outlet. I don't know if there'll be anything in here. If anybody knows what collection this is, please tell me, because it came without the cover. And I don't know. All of this is from the same... These are not in my normal style, so I don't, it's gonna be a little harder for me to use those. I think I'm gonna pass on those for now. Okay, I'm gonna grab a couple paper pads. Sorry guys, leave you staring at nothing for a few seconds here. But I'm gonna just pull out a stack of paper pads, and I'm not really looking what I'm grabbing here. I'm just grabbing out a handful. Oh, this collection. Okay, I'm not normally a Where Memory Keepers fan, but this collection, absolutely, I loved it. Look, I mean, this paper pad is like decimated. It's not totally gone yet, but it is getting pretty. If I could find another one of these, I'd totally buy it. Because I keep going back to it, and it's really pretty cut up now. But I've done a lot of layouts, and I also did an entire album for my brother and sister-in-law when they got married, a wedding album from this collection. Okay, I'm kind of thinking that this might be a good one for this picture. They're both redheads, and this collection has a lot of like more creamy, orangey, yellowy undertones that really highlight their gorgeous hair. So let me see. That's kind of fun. Maybe that one. I like this one a lot. I don't have that other scrap of that though. Oh. What if I did that with the florals? I'm gonna do that. This is not the greatest quality photo. My daughter took it. Probably wasn't on the greatest camera. I don't even know what camera it was, honestly, but I'm thinking about this to do some fussy cutting. And then where's that stack of these little, some of these scraps? This one here. I used so much of this for their wedding album. What does this say? You are my sun, my moon, and my stars. Okay, I'm gonna cut that out because that could work really well on the opposing pocket page. I don't think it'll work on the layout if I use that galaxy paper for the background. I'm gonna cut this one too because it also has the blue. What's funny is that this, if you look at the words and the phrases that are used on these pages, it's almost a travel kind of themey collection. But it worked so well for a wedding album. I was really pleased. Okay. And my sister-in-law too was too. I have more modern taste and she has more like vintage taste almost. And so it didn't bore me to tears, but it also made her very happy. And so that was a win. Okay, so I'm gonna stick that back in there. All right, so here are the papers. And since I pulled those, I think I'm just gonna, well, maybe I will pull a couple of Project Life cards just because I'm really on a mission. So you're getting a little sneak peek here. I'm going to tell you what's going on with this series I'm getting ready to start. I'm working on since the beginning of October, and my phone got washed. I stupidly threw my phone in the washing machine because I wasn't paying attention, and I was rushing to try to get laundry done. so my phone got washed, but, so I was without a, I was without a phone for much of the like the second half of October. And so I didn't get to film very much. And I forgot where I was going to go with that. Oh yeah, so I haven't gotten to film a video about this yet, but I'm doing this project where I'm trying to use every item in my stash in between October and October. So like 12 months of like this year. So how I am keeping track of that is I do use an inventory app, but when my phone died, everything got deleted, and I'm gonna have to re-put everything in because I stupidly didn't go and look to see how to back it up, and so I never went into the settings and pushed the backup button and sent my backup file to Google Drive, which would have been really, really smart. So now I have to re-enter my entire stash into this app, but I'm using these color coding labels for this project, and so every time I use an item, it gets one of these little stickers. And so a paper collection or paper pad counts as one item. So this wildflower collection will get one of these now before I put it away, showing that I've used it. Now, I don't actually put it on until I actually use it. So what I'll do is any papers or paper pads that I make page kits out of, they go in a couple of Avery containers that I have. And then as I use them, I take them out of the Avery container, I put the leftovers in with them, and then I put them away with this dot on them. So I will do a video kind of explaining more in detail of what I'm doing with that here shortly. But that's kind of the short version, and yeah, I'm excited because I have a habit of, I've got one more to go here. I have a habit of buying things that I think are really beautiful and then not using them. And by the time I do finally pull them out and use them, I'm not quite as excited about them as I once was. And that's kind of dumb because I should be using things that I'm really excited about when I'm excited about them. But sometimes it's really hard to like make myself cut into the paper because I'm always thinking, you know, there'll be something better to use it on. Or, you know, a lot of my Project Life albums is imperfect photos. And so part of me is like, let's wait for the perfect, you know, that photo's blurry, wait for the perfect photo. And, you know, it's just not, okay, this collection is working really well with this photo, so I'm gonna pull that. So, you know, I just need to stop it. I need to get over it and just use my stuff. What month is this? March. Perfect. It's even green-ish, blue-ish, whatever. So yeah, and that anything that I buy in this year or I bring into my stash gets added on. So, and it kind of increases the challenge, and I'm hoping it will kind of help me get out of that rut of buying things and then not wanting to use them. So this, I'm pulling out this whole pocket page, or this whole cut apart sheet, because I do have that pocket page, and I like several of these with this photo. I like this Never Stop Loving. I like this XOXO. My daughter was, how old was she? She was 11 when the baby was born. And oh my goodness, she was so excited. Do I want that floral? Yeah, I kind of do, I think, want that floral. Let me just take a quick peek. Yeah, I do, because I think I'm going to get a little bored without something to fussy cut. And I won't use all of this for sure. I'll make sure I stick the rest of it back in, because once a paper pad loses all of its fussy cutting sheets, I tend to kind of lose interest and only use them here and there. I kind of need to just start taking taking them apart at that point and putting them like that pile of loose papers that I was flipping through. I'm trying to decide about those Polaroids. They're so cute. I'm looking because I was thinking that there was a paper in this collection that was all these triangles, but I guess not. This is the Stitched collection from Amy Tangerine. This is pretty old. I've had this for a while, but I got it at Tuesday Morning, probably in like 2012. I guess there's not one like that. Bummer. Okay, do I want the Polaroids? So this one is going to end up being all of one collection. Actually, and the last one was too. That's kind of funny, but they don't. I'm thinking maybe I want that one. Yeah. Okay. They really don't usually end up all in one collection. If you haven't watched my other page kit videos, you'll see when you go back and look at those that that really is kind of unusual. But I know it's not going to sound like it when now that I'm saying that, because I've just done it like 3 times out of 5. Okay, so that is the paper. See, this is like what I was talking about. I used this one pretty recently, and so it has a pink dot on it. These are the ones I didn't end up looking at. Okay, something is wrong with this, I think. Oh, maybe this is all the same. Okay. I just didn't remember that collection having that many papers, but I guess it did. All right, so that is the papers pulled for 5 page kits. I will come back tomorrow and I'll film another video, part 2, showing my process with embellishments and alphabets and all of that. And oh, let's pull a couple of cards since I did that for the other. I don't know if that rainbow works. That does. I'm gonna pull that. I have no idea what that's from. So that one might work. This side does not work, and I do not like that side, but that does. And there's another one. Sometimes the other thing I'll do is when I have a paper that has a B side, that's the same one as I've already. When it has a B side that I like, but it doesn't have, but not something I would maybe use the whole sheet of, and where I really do not like the A side, I will cut it into 3x4s and stick it in my little. That color works, but I don't think that pattern works very well on as a photo background. Let's see. Ooh, these might be fun. These are from, I think these are from Project Life or Becky Higgins or something like that. And I've used most of them, but there's a few hanging around here still. Please tell me you have a few things like that where you're like, there's just one hanging around or 2 hanging around. And sometimes it just feels like, yeah, kind of going really white with this one. So is this March still? Yes. I know I already looked, but I'm trying to use things like this a little bit more because I'm terrible about never using that kind of stuff. It's because I always forget to look at it when I need a particular date. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so there we have it. That is the embellishments. It is now like 11:30, so I need to go to bed. But I will come back and I will film my process with embellishments, and then I'll do I may do a process video or 2 with these page kits, but I will also try to come back and film a part 3, which will be a layout share, and I will show you the pocket side and the 12x12 side when I finish. So thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you took a moment to subscribe and thumbs up and hit the little notification bell so that you don't miss